turning the camera to see.
Oh, yeah. Send her up.
Let's see. Welcome to Tappy Hour, episode 4, the otherwise known as the episode with obnoxious honking because our off-screen friend is playing Super Off-Road for no reason at all. No, it's Tappy Hour, episode 4. We're going to talk about the Free Play Killer Queen League rebooting and a lot of other stuff. But my name's Chris.
I'm Christian.
Christian, yes. Yeah, what's your week been like?
My mood tonight? I'm feeling great. I mean, I had a pretty solid, pretty good day at work, and every time I come out here on the week, at the end of the day, it's like a battery recharge. Seeing all these friends, getting to play some games for a little bit, try out whatever weird draft that they've rotated onto the chart over here at Free Play Dallas. So, usually a pretty good time. I'm really looking forward to it. I'm hoping that we see a pretty big crowd today. It's been we had a bit of a slow week, like a couple of weeks ago. So
I mean, we're always banging at 4 to 5 teams.
Mm-hmm.
So like, slow is relative. Like
That's true. That's true.
Yeah. As someone who's very much invested in the number of players who are here on a Tuesday Taps, it's relatively stable. But I do expect a bigger than normal Tuesday Taps.
Yeah.
And I see some people in the crowd looking around. So this podcast is dedicated to killing itself, and that we want to play the game. So
we want to podcast it to death.
Yes.
So
it's Tuesday at 6 p.m. We're podcasting because you're not here, but you should be, so that you can either be on the podcast with us and or play the game, which is really what we want to do.
Yeah. So the other thing, too, we got coming up here, and we actually just came off of a really good pinball night last night. Had a really good showing at the Monday Night Pinball League here at Free Play Arling, or Tokyo Station now. And then an upcoming here, we've got the Killer Queen League returning to DFW. It's been on hiatus for a few months after the last season closed out, and we're starting to do draft and get the teams back together, make sure that we've got full sets for the cabinets, and planning out the schedule and everything that Chris is taking care of for us, which thank you so much, because that is a tremendous amount of work to get it all organized. I know that everybody's grateful for it.
Yeah, it's a lot, a whole lot. Last season it took me, goodness, it was like 6 or 7 hours in a day, just again and again and again. And I definitely tried to pawn it off on our BH, and he could not handle it, our producer off screen.
It's a skill set that you have to acquire over time, I think. Maybe he'll get there someday, but today is not that day.
Well,
we appreciate him for what he is, but
yes.
But truly, tournament organizing is got a lot of creativity involved and a lot of effort, just keeping people motivated to stay involved and commitment and that kind of thing. It's tough, but. The Killer Queen League in Dallas and Fort Worth area have been going strong for a while. How many seasons has it been?
This will be season 12.
Season 12, yeah. So and some of these teams have been in since almost the beginning.
The Wannabes are an OG team that they've been in every season. Battle Hive Apis has been in all 12 seasons. Boobies were another of the 4 season 1 teams.
Mm-hmm.
They did take, I believe, 1 season off, and then rejoined in the Bumble Sleuth. So that's 3 of your 4 original teams. And then the 4th one was the champs, actually, B2 Bombers. B2
Bombers, yeah. Yeah, really great teams. So
that team that won in season 1 was, I believe, Steven, Will, Brian McLaren, Julius, and Stabby? No, not Stabby. Stabby was in the Wannabes, but I don't know. It was stacked.
I think I think I've played with Brian before, but I don't think I've played with the other players.
Let's see. Steven's on the Wannabes.
Oh yeah. I played Steve. Steven's a ton of fun. Steven is he's simultaneously like a really chill, vibing guy to play with, and at the same time he'll sling a little mud at you every now and then if he's ready to get dirty with you if you talk a little trash.
Yeah, I really like him. I really like playing with him. He's on the Wannabes. I'm very happy about that. When I was queening for the Wannabes the first 4 seasons, and the first several seasons when like his team was opposing mine, I definitely took him for inspiration, also as a rival, and it was great to have and great to have the occasion to play with him. I just remember his calls of like, middle, right to middle.
Yeah,
Right,
yeah.
like he would always say that and like communicate very firmly with his team, but not in a toxic way. Just
Uh-huh.
like, this is where I'm going. Meet me here. And like, I love that.
So if people want to join this esteemed company of the Killer Queen League, what is kind of the quick way to get started with all that? I mean, I know that they can always come and talk to you in person, but do they have a place they can check in online in case they're not here and they want to jump in?
I posted it in the chat, although it didn't link for some reason. It's tinyurl.com. Sorry, that's it. It's not .com. tinyurl.com/FPKQL sign up, and that'll take you to a Google
There we
sheet.
go.
That'll take you to a Google sheet. That you fill that out. Basically, just give us the information, who you are, where your travel preferences are, things like that, and that can get you in the mix. Allison will get you on the master sheet so that everybody can see who to auction. But also,
And you don't need to be. Do you need to know how to play this game really well to be able to jump in a Killer Queen League?
0%, and that's why we have it set up with tiers. Like, we are at this point in season 12. So it's been hard work, but like at this point, we're very fortunate because we have 3 tiers of league. So I can say, if you want to play with the best players in the world, and you're that good, that's the Killer Sleuth. Or maybe we're in there. We're good. Those are the big boys in the major league, the Killer Sleuth. Then you have a middle tier. It's the Honey Sleuth, and this is all with promotion and relegation. So that's a getting there. It's definitely a middle training ground. We're good at the game, but whatever objectively says like we're not there yet, but that's a good place to play against like skilled players, which you definitely need to get better. And then you have the Bumble Sleuth, which is like brand new entry-level teams, and I'm very proud of that because like you're protecting new players by having them play other new players or underdeveloped players, right? Like everybody deserves space to get better, and we can provide it with the league.
Well, it's also a good way to kind of balance the desire to play casually and the desire to play competitively, because there are plenty of people like that I've got friends on my team. So for the record, I'm in the Bumble League. Actually, an apiarist is a new apiarist this season, which is the people that are kind of charged just managing their team, making sure people know when the games are going to play. And
the
get
NFL would call you an owner.
An owner.
The NBA would call you a governor. The Killer Queen League would call you apiarist.
Yeah, because it's a bee thing, in case you guys didn't know what an apiarist is.
It's a beekeeper.
Yeah. So we've got people on our team that are, well, my wife is on the team, so that's part of that for me. But, it's just friends. Like, we're wanting to hang out and play together and have fun, but we're not necessarily looking to be able to beat the top teams in the Killer League. We don't feel like we got that capacity, and frankly, the commitment is not there for everybody. We just kind of want to hang out and play. So it's actually kind of like a social club almost for some of us too, which is a great way to make some new friends. I know that all of the teams are probably going to be looking to either add somebody in to the mix, either as an alternate or as to replace somebody who's rotating out, or we're always looking to form up new teams. So definitely a good time to sign up to jump in if you've never done it before. For us personally, we'd love to have you. So
literally, the more the merrier, and
Absolutely.
the more there is, the more it protects what we have, because you, as a social club, like get to play with the newer players. The newer players get to play with you, and like anybody that a new player might be scared of playing, we just take them straight out. Like that's over there.
Yeah.
That's in that league, and the only time you actually play them or get to play them is when you're so objectively at that level that's the people you would want to play anyway.
Exactly.
Right? Like it would be very natural to play them.
Yep. So that's kind of the spiel about how we get started with all that with Killer Queen League, how we're getting there. So we talked about how we've got the 3 different tiers of leagues, and we're just about to get ready to start drafting people to fill in some roles that have been vacated, or people have moved and they're taking a break, that kind of thing. So typically when people are drafting for their teams, they're looking for a few key roles. One is the queen. We got to have one of those. And then you are looking for somebody who's going to be really good at driving objective pressure for you, whether that's just dunking berries really fast or riding the snail, able to kind of move around and make the other players on the the military players on the other team respond to them, which can be really important. And then we're looking for people to play warrior roles, which is a combination of people getting up on speed and then somebody who's really stable to be kind of safe, either starting vanilla and jumping into speed later, that type of thing. So, what are the kind of skill sets maybe that people are looking for when they're drafting for that kind of stuff, Chris? Let's start with Queen.
Queen is like 1-1, right? Like somebody who's willing to be queen and put in the work and take that responsibility and be the one that like if you die 3 times, we lose the game. So we need you to not die, and we need you to understand that and be willing to take on that role, which is not a small task.
Yeah. So you'd say, like, for that role, you probably don't want to be brand new to the game. You probably need to know at least a little bit how to play.
I agree.
To
yeah,
jump in on that one.
You got to tap super fast, right? Or maybe not super fast. You have to be able to tap for a long time. I would want you to be like a little bit seasoned. Just so that we know you can hover at the ceiling so that the other queen doesn't just scrape the ceiling and kill you, right? Like, you don't want to be, like, first time playing. If you've never heard of the league before and you're in the Dallas area and you've been queening for your friends and you're like, I got this, let's get you a game or two.
I will say, though, we played in Richardson the other day, and just had some random groups of friends that were just hanging out there that we I don't know, tricked into playing with us for a little bit, ended up hanging out with us for like an hour or something, and they ended up, picking up and playing Queen pretty effectively, after just, 45 minutes. If you're somebody that plays games, there's nothing to say that you can't jump in and learn how to do it.
It's true, and you can pick it up quickly, and there are definitely people who do pick it up quicker. Tim came into the league playing Queen. And
did he really? That's
yeah.
how he started? That guy's a prodigy, though.
There are prodigies, though.
That's
so
true.
Like, that is a thing.
That's true.
And I don't want to get in the way of that.
Yeah.
But you might want to dip your toe in and make sure that you are what you think you are on the Queen, because we're all relying on you.
So there's it's staying alive thing. So you got to be a little bit aware of what's going on. But I think
tag gates.
Yeah, tag gates. So this is like a map order thing. So you have to be able to pay attention to what's going on across the whole screen at the same time. And a lot of times the teams rely on their queens to be kind of a shot caller too. Like, hey, we need to rotate to switch to this objective, or hey, meet me at this gate. I'm going to make it over there in like 10 seconds or something like that, so that people can kind of plan ahead. So I think it takes a bit of a tactical mind, a strategic mind to kind of take up that role. So if that seems like that's your bag of tea, then I'd say jump in and try it out. And if you're I think a natural progression a lot of times is people who play warrior end up wanting to play queen, especially if they prefer to play like a vanilla warrior.
Vanilla warrior,
the speed is the same on the screen for your flying.
Yeah, vanilla warrior is like training for queen.
Yeah.
You have to stay safe. You're the safe gate. If you die, your team is really screwed.
Yeah.
But you also have the same speed as the queen, just not as many movement options, and that you cannot dive. So yeah, that's good practice for queen. Especially like transitioning early. I will say a lot of players, such as myself, that started vanilla and go to queen, will struggle with our eyes too low. I've seen that, where you're looking at the snail, you're trying to do vanilla things, but you're the queen, so you do not need to pop the snail. I need to send you to pop the snail while I stay safe.
Constantly when I get to play queen taps.
Yeah, it's just a mindset tweak, and it's very necessary.
So for league play for warriors, what's the skill set there? What are you looking for? What kind of mindset do people have to have when they're going to jump in on playing speed warriors or vanilla?
Willingness. If you're willing to pick up the sword, then I've got a team for you. It's really that simple. There are different styles of warriors. There are the ones who want to play ultra safe, like myself. Mm-hmm. There are the saucy psychopaths like Heriberto, who hasn't been in the league for a couple of seasons. And there's everywhere in between, right? That's you. The team with the best military units are probably going to win. So their importance cannot be understated.
So is that like a trend for other teams? I know that on our team, speaking personally, knowing people that just got started playing the game, and sometimes they don't want to. They don't want to get up and play warrior. They're like, I'm comfortable riding the snail, or I like running berries or something like that. And I thought that was just maybe the people I was playing with. You feel like that reticence to jump in on that role is more common than that?
Wait, like
I mean, going to jumping from playing objective up into a warrior role. Do you feel like people are hesitant to do that? Do you think it's a common thing?
Sometimes, just because you have to tap the button a lot more. It's not like Mario anymore.
No, that's true.
It's also like when you're objective, you are literally winning the game. Like, that's your job, is to win the game. Warriors, their jobs are more diverse and complex than that. If you're killing the queen 3 times, then yeah, you're winning the game, but like, you're probably going to die trying to do that, and now you're the one losing the game because our military units are down. You got to get back up. Then you also have to worry about defense, and defending is difficult because, as you know from being objective, like, I can sneak those berries in, especially if I have some support over my head. So yeah, it's a complex thing, and it can be intimidating, but the point of the league is to create those safe spaces for you to do that, and also just, I don't know, do what's fun.
Just for fun.
If we're not having fun, we're not doing it right, in my opinion.
So what do you think? So what about objective players? So what's the skill set there? Because it's not just as easy as like, I'm going to go like take a snail and hold a stick to the left and ride it all the way to the gate, right?
I actually have lots of thoughts on the objective because I just played objective in a tournament
That's
in
true.
Utah.
You
right?
just played it in Utah.
I think it's an underappreciated role. It's our given entry role in that you could literally just hold to the left and be useful, right? Like, if you're moving the snail,
you're being
better,
useful.
It's
That's
better
a thing,
than Gene, right? And like, I want you on my team. I'm absolutely like, let's go. This is genuine when I say come play with me, and never having played before. A lot of times people get confident in that middle tier. I can run the berries. I know I can. It's more complicated than that, but like, I'm fine with it being an entry-level thing and like sticking there. But if you want nuance, like, Katie Caston is in the area. She's probably going to be here today.
She's an incredible player, by the way.
She's the best objective I've ever seen.
I mean, you want to talk about, like, I think we're about to get into the differences between some of these like one league and the other, and like what's the marker between people playing in Bumble versus Honey versus Killer. But we could start with objective, and we could talk about Katie, because she's an amazing objective player.
She is relentless on snail pressure and objective pressure, just relentless.
Yeah.
She is perfectly happy to die 10,000 times in service of winning the game, and she will, or stalling out the game. She has high map awareness. She can communicate effectively, but she can also do it without malice. You know, she will tell you what's happening on the map, and you might miss it because like, you're not paying attention to the woman over there, but you should be. She'll let you know.
And I think that there's a lot of tech with objective play that gets overlooked sometimes. You know, like jumping off the snail and bouncing people, or rerouting from an objective run to go disrupt something that a warrior's doing by knocking off their head or baiting them down into a position they shouldn't go into.
Yep.
You know, you can impact the game in a lot of ways besides just carrying a barrier, just riding snails, if that's not like an important thing on its own, right?
Yeah, and knowing that next level can be the difference between winning a map and losing. It could be the difference between, like, that warrior's going to come up and kill the snail and then subsequently killing my entire team, or I bounce that would-be warrior one time out of the gate as a lowly drone on the snail because I hopped off, and now my queen dives on that drone. There's the end of that potential speed warrior. Yep. They're still wiped. Yeah, I'm going to go move the snail now that we've dealt with their entire threat. Right?
Yeah, I feel like that's the difference between like a killer level objective player is the ability to make an impact on the map in across like weird situations. I mean, bouncing drones out of gates they're trying to form out there.
Yes, that's
knocking.
Huge.
You're using your bounce aggressively, not just defensively. Like, so, kind of in the middle league, you're talking about people that are jumping off the snail and dodging a warrior or bouncing the warrior away, right? But they're, interacting right around those objectives. Still really important to be able to do those things, but, the difference between somebody who's like really on the next tier, I think, is knowing when to abandon moving a snail another quarter of an inch and when it's better to go and try to knock, a queen, like save a queen who's trapped by displacing, somebody who's keeping her pen down or something.
Drone's the only only unit that can front stick the queen. The
Yeah.
drone could technically go higher than the queen. Now, the drone can't fly, so the queen has to be low enough on the map that the drone can reach them. But yeah, if the drone's at the ceiling, the queen's at the ceiling, oddly, the queen's the one getting bumped down.
Yeah.
And yes, Katie's very good at that.
Oh, I know. God, I know.
I don't go into don't go into the tunnel, period. But like my first lesson was
Stay away from
leave Katie alone
You know,
on the stage. There's one way I approach Katie: straight down.
I've gotten
That's it.
so I
That's
used to
it.
think before I was playing Queen, and I was playing Warrior periodically and stuff. I would just like, all right, Warrior, or oh yeah, here's a drone. That's my food. And if they bounce me away, I was like, well, I'll try again. I'm just gonna get them eventually. You know, they're like my prey, and I'm the shark or something, right? With a queen, it's like, oh God, here comes the drone. What are they going to do to me?
Yeah,
So much more scared of a drone displacing me than I am of a warrior trying to hit a J that I can just stand there and just eat them when they come at me, you know?
But that's a worthwhile fear. Like they are a threat if they're good.
And they don't care. They will throw their life away. They're just like,
Sure,
hey,
why
I'm
not?
going to get you. Bam. The Infinity Live. It's no investment there. Just
The
come
other
right
thing
back.
that like separates the really good ones from the mid tier is like you die a lot as objective. You don't have to die a lot as objective, right? Like your death needs to mean or should mean something, right? Just dying means you have to respawn, come back, do whatever it is you're doing. That's 2.5 seconds with you off the map, maybe some more while you're coming down to go find the snail or whatever, right? Why did you die? Good reason to die is like there's a fight over my head and I have the objective, I have the snail. Now I'm going to lure the enemy down underneath my warriors, underneath my military units, dying in the process so that they get a tactical position over them, right? Good reason. Not a good reason. There's nobody defending me over the snail. I'm just on it, and Christian, the queen, comes and dives into the tunnel and just mows me down.
Yeah.
That's not a good reason to die. Because you're coming, you're going to kill me. I have no escort.
Well,
I have no reason. So just leave.
I would say that you can also get an advantage out of dying down there, but not dying off the first pass. Like every time that you bounce and they go, oh, I get them next time, and they come back at you again, I get them next time. You can waste so much time and get people stuck.
Wasting time
is a huge benefit.
Incredible. If the drone wastes anybody's time on the map that's not another drone, then that's a
even a drone if they're trying to form up, right? You know, you can waste a lot. Yeah, you can.
But I'm thinking of that in the future tense. That's a future warrior,
that's a
right?
Future warrior.
Yeah. If I've wasted their time and they died, if I got them killed, that's amazing. But like just wasting their time is underrated. If you are the queen and you chase me, right? And say I hop off the snail, but I'm not going to try and front stick you because I'm going to die, right? So I'm going to go that way, and you're going to chase me.
Yeah.
Well, every moment, every split second that you chase me is time wasted with the drone.
Well, and you're controlling their position too, right?
Because
they're chasing you. They're not going where they could go to take an advantage. You just get to make it. You're controlling their path, right?
Well, maybe
to a degree.
But also, you're occupied with me.
Yeah,
if you're looking at me way down here, then you're not all the way over there. And my team is hopefully winning on the other side because I'm the least powerful unit. You're the most powerful unit. And I've somehow taken you off the board, even for a split second, net win, right? But then the other thing is, like, so you run me off, and you're going to hover over say you're a warrior. You run me off, you're hovering over the snail. I could dunk a berry in. My percentage chances of winning is going to go higher.
Yeah.
Or maybe I can get speed in that moment, or disrupt something, or anything, right? Any little bit I can add to value, and also
it's all incremental, right? I mean, that's the thing about drone. You can
drone.
see the incremental boost, and it's very satisfying to drop a barrier, move the snail a little bit, or get up for free on speed or whatever. Like all of it is very I can feel it getting up slowly. It's a build. It's a pressure build that takes all game long until it's over. You know? So.
And then every once in a while you actually get your number called too. Like if you hear, good drones, if you hear we're won or we're wiped.
Oh, I'm getting up. Here we go. Get a gate.
I'm getting up. Like if we're wiped and the drone gets up as warrior, you saved the day.
Right.
Now get another warrior up and continue on. Just before we got on the air, I got to do a film review with Soren.
Yeah.
And we watched our map against each other, where I was
in the Utah game.
Yes, I was a drone. Several minutes into the map, my team is wiped. I get up. I never die for the rest of the map.
Yeah.
And we win. Going into and out of famine, never die.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Well, that's actually a good time. We should transition to talking about warriors because that is, to a degree, that's a warrior impact. I mean, a drone transitioning up to that is an important step that objective players should take when it comes to it. But there's also a big difference between like the killer warriors, bumble warriors, and honey warriors. So what are some of the things that people are looking for with warriors in each of these leagues? What are the key kind of skill sets?
That is a complicated question. It depends on like the team makeup, how good they are, where they are. Like, there's defensive players like myself. There's striking players, but also there's new players, right? Like, I would rather, as a defensive-minded person, I would rather have somebody with a defensive mindset that's not all the way there yet on their technique, because that will come over time. And I feel like a defensive player playing from above, staying alive, playing tactically, is giving themselves more opportunities to practice that tech until they get better. I think they're going to get there, and I think they're going to get there quicker.
You kind of advocate for mapping a warrior skill set to what the style of play that the team is going for. So if you are playing more of a zone control style, you probably want a defensive-oriented warrior as opposed to a striker.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, and I'm willing to roll the dice without a striker. Like,
yeah, sure. I don't think it. I don't necessarily. There's like a.
We will win.
Through
it may not necessarily you will win, but we will win, right? Like,
sure.
I'm fine with that. I want to stand on the hands of the enemy players until they can't play no more, right? Like, that's fine. We'll win eventually.
Oh, I've had some long maps that feels like I'm never going to win, though, Chris. Sometimes I'm begging for somebody that's like, just go kill her. I tried to be in famine. Soft famine will never end.
Yeah, it's.
So a defensive warrior. So what are the hallmark skills of a defensive warrior?
Don't die in playing from above. Map awareness. Getting the F out of there whenever you're about to get killed.
Well, you eventually have to kill other people. You can't just like hold a
column,
right? Yeah, but how are you comboing against being like when you say map awareness, what you're looking for is somebody that is going to be aware. When they have an opportunity to surround another warrior. Because when you're playing a defensive warrior, that's a lot of pinching, right? That's kind of how your style is.
It's how my style is, but the pinches don't necessarily happen. Honestly, they're pretty rare. Like, that's a technical move and a one that's, like, difficult. But if you're up here and your opponent's there and, like, your teammate is here and your opponent is, like, here, like, they know they're in trouble. And if they don't know they're in trouble, they're about to find out. But, like, that's when it happens, is when they test that and you get them. But, like, more often than not, they're going to get out of there because they're going to die. And, like, that's what I want to in my defensive warrior, too, is, like, don't let them come around you and surround you.
Just force them down. Yeah.
Get out, get around, get above. Like, that's the name of the game. Don't strike at them and then throw yourself into a pinch. Or do, and, like, that's how my team wins, right? And so, yeah, I don't think it has to be technique heavy. The technique comes with time.
This is more of a positioning kind of heavy mindset, you think? Okay.
Yeah, I'm a zoner in every game, and I believe in it, and I see it play out in Killer Queen a lot.
So there's when you've got, I would say, like, really early starting warriors that haven't played it very much, let's just assume that they've got enough to tap. They can fly, right?
Uh-huh.
So I think what I see people doing where they get caught in trouble is they drop low to try to clear something they think is a priority,
right?
Instead of waiting for backup to help them have space.
Yeah.
I think patience is a really big key thing. It's like I got to be patient enough to stick around and help another person get up on warrior to help me be safe when I kill the drone.
And this is where having the non-defensive warrior or the military units that are so quick to blow themselves up bites you, right? Is like you don't want to, like, address the snail yourself. You want to pull your squad into it so you get them up and they immediately kill themselves, and then you get them up again, and they immediately kill themselves.
Sometime,
and
you know what it is?
And then you have to go kill the snail yourself, but now you're dead.
But you know what it is though is that sometimes, because I think that there are really successful strikers out there.
There are.
There
absolutely are.
You're giving them a bad rap a little bit. Now there's some that are really let's say feast and famine, right? But I think it's because
and a very good striker feasts way more than famine.
Yes, I do think that that's true. But I think that it's like you were saying about technique. It's like the technique that requires you to have as a striking speed warrior, right? You have to be able to do things like hit one bounce pinches or stinches, right?
You would want that.
That would be a
that's
key,
like
that could be that's a high skill level thing, right? But you'd want to be able to do that.
It's also a read. You gotta be
right?
in the mind of your opponents and know exactly when that bump's going to take place.
Yeah, because the timing is huge. Yeah,
it's everything.
Because you got to come from the bottom up the top as opposed to coming around and hitting a J and then being there for that. Yeah.
And you're guessing they're going to hit, and like I said, the good ones are very good at it, and they will get you.
So frustrating playing against somebody who's good at that.
I mean, we have the alpha striker here in the Dallas area. It's Heriberto.
Heriberto. Mario's getting up there. Tim is also really good at it when he plays on Speed Warrior. We've seen some other people that are getting it. Hayden's getting better at some of that stuff.
Dallas players are dangerous.
John, whenever John pops off, John is really good at it. Now, John is also inconsistent sometimes, but he's getting a lot better at it too, I think.
The thing is, and I think I mentioned this on the podcast last week. I told Rom, you touch the other queen one time, Heriberto's stinching you. And that's
the
truth,
true.
Right?
It's true.
But so a very good queen is I've played with Woody before as well, and Woody's I don't want anybody covering my back or my head. If I get pinched, that's my fault. I did that. The queen should never get pinched. Now, that being said, I've seen Woody pinched by Heriberto in a tournament before. So
it happens.
It does happen.
But it sounds like Woody would just own that and be like, you know what? I took a risk. I shouldn't have been there. I mean, that happens to everybody.
Yeah, and that's a knowledge gap in my opinion. I didn't know Heriberto could strike in that moment. And
yeah, you know what? The rule of thumb with Heriberto is that Heriberto can always strike in a moment.
And that's what I told Rom.
There's no moment that he can't strike you.
That's what I told Rom, and that's basically true. And once you get that, once you understand that, bumping queens means I'm dead. Don't do it.
Yeah.
And then that actually helps you play against an Heriberto team, right? I'm saying him because he's top of the heap. There are a lot of Dallas players that are along those lines. Don't do it with any of those people you mentioned. Don't bump queens.
If you are if you're playing in Dallas, you're queening in Dallas, you will learn very quickly to just always be aware of that. I mean, they will just especially if you're new and they find more opportunities, they will throw themselves at you.
Yeah.
Everybody will. Not even the people that are good at it. They'll be the people that are learning how to do it. They're yeah, here we go. It's like fresh meat dangling down. They just go after you.
Yeah.
You have to learn really fast to not fall victim to that.
Yeah. In my opinion, it's pretty simple. You bump the queen, you should expect to die. Going back to what Woody was telling me when I played on Woody's team, that's my fault.
Yeah.
Right? You bumped the other queen. You chose to do that. Welcome to Dallas. You're dead. And you bumped one time. I understand you bumped one time. That puts you not in control of your avatar, and you're dead.
No. Well, so we talked about some of the differences in the team, or what the skill sets that make somebody really good at you're playing warrior or queen or drone. When people are drafting, you think it's really a style choice for the teams, or they should be focused on making something really well balanced? Is it better to be narrow-minded and be like, we are gonna be a zoning team? I'm looking for players that do that. What do you think makes a really strong team? This is kind of it's got to be it's a little bit of a. I don't know if there's a right answer to this.
I don't
honestly.
think there is. I don't think there
even
is.
Football teams. I mean, how many times we watch an NFL draft and they come up, is the better defense going to win this year? Is the better offense going to win this year? Who knows? I mean, the Super Bowl.
Let me be philosophical about it and just say, if you're playing the game, you're doing it the right way.
Yeah.
You're playing the game, you're having fun, you're doing it the right way. And I am not here to invalidate the B equals MC squared because they won the Bumble Sleuth trophy. They won a trophy against all the other teams that were trying very hard on their level.
Yeah.
That's it. Like, congratulations. You won. You're the champions.
We
You're
won,
the literal champions.
We won a game, and we tried our hardest.
And I was so happy for
you when you won. It was so gratifying, though. We took some people to round 5 a few times. So, like one just like we got to blow it every time. But we had a blast. So, I think this is a – oh, well, go ahead.
But for real, putting together the team that plays together and continues to play together, you're doing it right. If that's it, like that's it. And that's a healthy attitude. You'll get better over time. It was, I believe, Hive 5's first season, correct?
For most of us, yeah.
I think it was Hive 5's
Oh, yeah,
first
yeah,
season.
our team. Yeah, as a group,
like
we'd never played together. 4 of us had never played in the league before, actually.
Yeah,
or three of us hadn't.
Rome wasn't built in a day, but High Five's going to be back again and going to be better. And it's because of a healthy attitude, because y'all had fun playing. Yeah. That's it. You did it right. You did it, in my opinion, perfectly.
I'll tell you what, I'm going to recruit for. So I get to pick the draft now. So I'm going to pick people who want to dress up in a theme. So
let's talk about that, getting players, though, because that had a big, big change this week.
Oh, yeah, you've changed it. Yes, tell us about that.
Yeah, so I'm inspired by the NBA right now because –
Not the Mavericks.
Absolutely not the Mavericks. Absolutely not the Mavericks. But the NBA champion, when it's crowned this season, will be a new champion that has not won, and that is the case for the last 7 seasons. 7 seasons, 7 different champions.
And that's incredible.
It's incredible, and it's totally unlike the NBA. I think the Boston Celtics won like 10 championships in 11 years.
The
Maybe
Lakers
it was 10.
Unbeatable for a long time.
Dynasties have been the way of things in the NBA for forever, and it's not like the players have gotten better. Well, they've probably gotten better, but it's not that they've gotten worse, that's for sure. But, like, what has happened is player empowerment. LeBron plays with his friends, and that's been swinging titles everywhere, right? Kevin Durant wants to play with Steph Curry. Now they win. But, like, even that's the other era where they were winning multiple championships. Now it's just, like, wild-ass, right? Like, who knows who's going to win every year because, like, they're all moving everywhere on their own accord. And it's not entirely on their own accord, but, like, it's caused so much parity and also just general, like, happiness with your team unless some idiot GM gets in the way and trades Luka for nothing.
All right.
Sorry. But my point is, like, player empowerment clearly, looking at the NBA, like, does help. So we've added a free agency period from now till June 17th. If you want to get into the league and you want to play for a team because you saw Christian on a podcast and you think High Five is great and he agrees as the apiarist, you can be on that team. And that's it. And all the honey coin rules are amended to flex around that. You can have a team with 5 free agents. Even if for some reason you don't want to play on your own team, Christian, that is a thing that can happen. But, like, you can join with your buddies. You can have a team of 5 joining into the Bumble Sleuth. That's fine. You can, if you're good enough to join in with the big dogs, then you're going to be coveted. Mario's in that position right now, right? Mario is unaffiliated. He just moved from Austin. He's the belle of the ball. He's going to be 1-1 in the auction if he goes that far.
He's also hilarious.
God,
that guy got me so good last week.
But yeah, it's Mario's prerogative who Mario plays for right now until the 17th or until he chooses. And, like, I think that's the way to go in the future. And because of the NBA model, I'm really inspired by it, and I think it's going to go great. And it's already paid dividends. I don't know if you're aware. Paul & Count has a new signing. It's Charlie.
Excellent. Well, hey, listen, we got to wrap this up because there's people that want to tap over here, so let's get out of here.
Let's go.
All right, well, this has been fun. We'll see you guys next week.
Yep. Remember, you can keep us from podcasting just by playing with us, and that's what we want.